to cute, funny songs about the nominated movies. He got The Crying Game, I got Schindler's List.
When Whoopi Goldberg stepped into New York Fashion Week that evening, the energy in the room shifted almost instantly. And it wasn't because of the flashing cameras or the designer crowd. It was because people genuinely did not recognize her at first. At 69 years old, the EGOT winner appeared noticeably different, slimmer, lighter, and visibly transformed in a way that made even longtime fans pause. As she walked into the Christian Siriano show, the usual red carpet buzz turned into whispers, gasps, and double takes. Phones came out. Clips were uploaded within minutes. Social media began moving faster than the photographer's shutters. And before the night even ended, her appearance had already become a trending topic. Some viewers praised her, saying she looked radiant, refreshed, and confident, while others reacted with confusion or concern, unsure of how to process the change. It was one of those rare moments where a single entrance overshadowed the entire event, not because of controversy, but because of shock. The internet divides in real time. Within hours, the internet split cleanly down the middle, and as always, everyone had an opinion. Supporters flooded comment sections with admiration, calling Whoopi glowing, strong, and inspiring, especially for embracing change later in life. Others were more hesitant, saying the transformation felt sudden or worrying, not out of cruelty, but concern. What should have been a simple fashion appearance quickly turned into a larger cultural conversation, with strangers debating her health, her age, and her choices as if they were personal experts. Fashion critics discussed her outfit. Fans discussed her confidence. Casual viewers debated whether change itself was something to celebrate or fear. The speed of it all was overwhelming, and what stood out most was how little time passed between her stepping onto the carpet and her body becoming public discussion. When style became a symbol, as the attention grew, so did scrutiny, not just of her appearance, but of what she was wearing. Some viewers loved her look, praising its boldness and individuality, while others criticized it harshly, missing the point entirely. What should have been interpreted as creative expression turned into commentary about her body itself, as if clothing existed only to serve unrealistic expectations. This reaction revealed something deeper than fashion taste. It exposed how uncomfortable society becomes when someone, especially an older woman, changes outside of expectations. Instead of focusing on her decades-long legacy, many chose to focus on fabric, fit, and assumptions, proving once again how quickly appearance eclipses achievement in public discourse. The no-win reality of public bodies. What made the reaction particularly frustrating was how familiar it all felt. Whoopi Goldberg has spent her entire career existing outside Hollywood's narrow definitions of beauty, yet she has never been free from commentary. When she was heavier, people mocked her. When she lost weight, people questioned her. It became painfully clear that there was no version of her body that would ever satisfy everyone. The conversation was no longer about health or fashion. It was about control. It was about how uncomfortable people become when someone makes a personal change without asking permission. And once again, Whoopi found herself at the center of a debate she never asked to start. A moment that changed everything. What most people didn't know that night was that this story didn't begin at Fashion Week at all. The real turning point happened years earlier, quietly and painfully, during the filming of the 2022 film, Till. While the movie itself received praise for its emotional depth, one moment behind the scenes stayed with Whoopi long after the camera stopped rolling. After a screening, a woman approached her with what she believed was a harmless comment, mentioning how realistic the fat suit looked and how uncomfortable it must have been to wear. The truth, however, was devastating. There was no costume. That was Whoopi's real body, and hearing it described as something artificial and separate from herself struck her deeply. Seeing yourself through someone else's eyes. Later, Whoopi spoke openly about that moment, explaining how it forced her to see herself differently for the first time in her life. She'd always been comfortable in her body, never defining herself by size. But that comment acted like a mirror she couldn't look away from. It wasn't about shame. It was about realization. She understood that her weight had become something others no longer saw as part of her identity, but as something abnormal. That awareness stayed with her, growing heavier than the comment itself, because it forced her to think not about appearance, but about health, longevity, and the future she still wanted to live. Fear beneath the surface. Behind the humor and honesty Whoopi later shared was fear, real human fear. At close to 300 pounds, she knew the health risks were no longer abstract ideas, but real possibilities. Aging had changed the stakes. This wasn't about fitting into Hollywood expectations or pleasing critics. It was about whether her body could continue to carry her through the years she still wanted to experience. She thought about her family, her career, and the work she still loved. That moment marked the beginning of a private reckoning, one that had nothing to do with cameras and everything to do with survival. The long road of trial and error change didn't happen overnight. Whoopi has never pretended it did. She tried different approaches, adjusting her diet, becoming more mindful of movement, making lifestyle changes that felt sustainable rather than extreme. Some worked for a while, others didn't. Like many people, she experienced setbacks, frustration, and moments of discouragement. Weight loss wasn't a straight line. It was a cycle of progress and pause. What made it harder was knowing that no matter what she did, public commentary never stopped. Every fluctuation was noticed, every appearance was judged, and yet she kept going, choosing honesty over perfection. Eventually, Whoopi made a decision that many public figures avoid. She chose honesty. She acknowledged that alongside lifestyle changes, she also used medically supervised support recommended by her doctors. She didn't glamorize it. She didn't present it as a miracle. She simply told the truth. In doing so, she opened herself up to even more opinions. But she refused to pretend that her journey was effortless. Her transparency wasn't about justification. It was about realism. She wanted people to understand that health journeys look different for everyone, especially later in life. A reflection of a bigger problem. The intensity of the reaction revealed something much larger than one celebrity's appearance. It exposed how deeply uncomfortable society is with older women changing on their own terms. Whoopi became a symbol, not by choice, but by circumstance, a reminder that even legends are not immune to scrutiny. Her body became a battleground for conversations about age, autonomy, and respect, and the fact that this happened to someone of her stature said everything about how broken those standards still are. Redefining strength in public, What made this moment powerful wasn't the weight loss itself. It was how Whoopi handled the aftermath. She didn't shrink, she didn't soften, she didn't explain herself endlessly. She simply continued being visible, continued laughing, continued working, continued mentoring. In a culture that expects women to disappear quietly as they age, she did the opposite. She remained present, vocal, and active, proving that transformation doesn't mean erasure. A career bigger than any body. At 69, many expected her to slow down, but Whoopi showed no signs of retreat. She stayed deeply involved in television, film, and advocacy, reminding audiences that her talent has never been tied to her size. Her voice still carries weight. Her presence still commands attention. And her career continues to evolve, not despite change, but alongside it. She demonstrated that personal growth doesn't end with age. It often begins there. Turning pain into purpose. By sharing her experience openly, Whoopi transformed personal pain into something meaningful. She gave others permission to acknowledge fear, to change their minds, and to prioritize health without shame. She didn't present herself as a success story with a perfect ending. She presented herself as human, and in doing so, she shifted the conversation from gossip to reflection, from judgment to understanding. Still moving forward. As the headlines fade and the debates quiet, one thing remains clear. Whoopi Goldberg is still moving forward. She is still creating, still speaking, still laughing, and still living on her own terms. The noise may continue, but it no longer defines the story. She does, and in a world eager to judge, that may be her most powerful role yet.